This should be a good spot, right? The river's nice and wide. Plus, no one else is around. It shouldn't be a problem if the Sentinel pops up here.
Are you going to summon it right now? Perhaps we should wait until nightfall.
Well, we're going to send it right back, aren't we?
If it's only for a second, then we should be fine.
I want to change the registered pilot of Sentinel number 17. To you, Matsuno.
Wait, right here? Why?
I was previously using Miura's ID. However, the ownership of the ID returned to him.
It's because I operated Sentinel number 19.
I can no longer pilot a Sentinel. In order to shift to the Sentinel, it must receive a new pilot. But this change comes with a price. It will reset the Sentinel's stored memory.
Wait, that's not good.
Then, what do we do?
We'll transfer all data logs to me. If it's done at the same time we change the registered pilot, I should be able to secure the log data.
Good thinking, BJ.
Now to know. From now on, Sentinel number 17 will be...
Right, no problem. I'll be the one who pilots the robot. And I'll fight together with my pal, BJ.
As long as Nachan isn't in any danger.
Sentinel number 17 will protect Natsuno.
If anything, I should be the one fighting.
There is another Sentinel for you.
What did you say?
You must work together and survive.
You know it.
Both processes must be performed concurrently. Natsuno, it's time to activate.
Okay. Dang, that was fast.
Now send it back, Nachan.
How do I do that? Huh?
It disappeared.
Does that mean it worked, BJ? BJ? You okay, buddy? Say something.
He's no longer with us.
What?
BJ was the only one who could retrieve the log data. But the storage capacity on a scout unit like that is limited. He couldn't store both the log data and his own AI data. So in order to make room for the logs, he deleted himself.
No. No, you're wrong. He's just fooling around. Come on. Wake up, BJ. BJ.
No matter where I am, at least the sunset is always the same. Before the war, my uncle gave me a sci-fi novel. A story about traveling through time to the future. It only ever felt like a far-off fantasy. To think it ever become a reality. I don't care that we lost. I'm proud my country could rebuild after what happened. But I won't accept this future. Now that I know we lose the war, that's all the more reason to go back. I'll bring the Sentinel with me, and I'll change history. It's my duty to fight and protect the people. I have to save as many of them as I can. But what if it's impossible for me to go back? What if I'm trapped here? Chihiro. Alright, that's enough. Get it together. Don't get discouraged. You will make it back. No matter what it takes. I wonder, what if I never actually traveled through time? It's possible that space-time here is warped somehow. But it could just be a local effect. I should try heading toward the school. Maybe time is flowing normally over there.
Hurry up, Miwa-chan!
Slow down, Iori-chan.
Female students. Looks like the school's still here. Isn't that... Hey, hold on!
Miura-kun? Thank goodness.
You're Natsuno Minami, right? The one I met at the shrine. What are you doing here?
I've gotta say, you had me pretty worried. I had no idea where you went.
I can't believe you're here too.
I couldn't find you anywhere. I thought you got snatched up and hauled off to Area 51. But anyway, what have you been up to?
Wait, first...
Where have you been?
A kind student's been letting me stay at his place. Aside from that, I've been sleeping outdoors.
Outdoors? Hang on. This is my mess, so I have to figure out how to clean it up. But then again... I can't really bring a boy into the house. Oh yeah! Granny Tamao went on a trip. So Jiro-kun should be the only one home. That house does have a lot of rooms.
Granny Tamao?
Sorry. Let me go grab my stuff really quick. I'll be right back, so just wait here. Then we'll head over to the Karabe's house.
Karabe? Managed to leave quite the dent. Chihiro? You don't have to cry. It's not like you did this on purpose. I'm sure Uncle isn't mad about it anymore.
What about you? Are you mad?
Of course not. I'm your big brother. I'll always be on your side, Chihiro. Now, come on out. So, how'd you hit the pillar with the laundry bucket? You must have been playing pretty rough.
The bunny was fighting. And it beat up giant ghosts. As the ghosts smash all the houses. And more of them keep coming.
Such strange ghosts. Did you come up with them yourself?
No, Tamao told me about them.
I'm sorry, Chihiro-chan. My father has quite a short temper. I'm sorry. This was all my fault.
Tamao-san.
Happened because I told Chihiro-chan about my dreams.
Is it okay for you to be awake right now?
Mm-hmm. I've been feeling much better lately. And I have Goto-san from Tokyo to thank for that. He's been sharing some foreign medicine with me. It's just that, ever since I started taking it, I keep having strange dreams. But they feel like more than just dreams. They're like memories that I just suddenly remember.
The sirens.
This is bad. Turn on the radio.
This military broadcast. Air raid alarms have been sounded. Enemy is flying at low altitude. More air units to be expected. To prepare against the coming invasion, we ask all citizens to unite as we fortify our air defenses.
It's a massive enemy raid.
We have to hurry to a bomb-proof shelter. Come on, Chihiro-chan. We have to go.
Jiro-kun, are you home?
Minami-san. Couldn't you have knocked first?
Come on, your Granny Tamao and I are best buds. We're neighbors. Think I don't know my way around the place? Anyway, I've got a favor to ask.
Oh, Minami-san. I didn't know you lived so close.
Did you really need to come out?
You're Yakushiti-san, our classmate? Wait, no way. Are you two?
Do you need something from him?
It's not what it looks like. This is just... you know...
Natsuno-san?
Oh, come on in.
Pardon my interruption. So this house is still standing.
Who are you?
My name is Keitaro Miura.
So, it's kinda complicated, but yeah. I need you to let him stay over for a few days.
What? How do you know Minami-san?
Come on, I know you have a spare room. Just let him stay until your granny's back. In exchange, I won't tell anyone you're living with a girl.
That's not...
The details don't matter. Just let him stay, alright? Thanks, see ya!
Natsuno-san, is this...
It's fine, it's fine. I live super close by. So if you need anything, just let me know.
There she goes. Well, this is awkward. Pardon me. I know Natsuno-san's intentions are good, but I really don't want to be an inconvenience.
Are you hungry? Why don't you join us for dinner?
No, I shouldn't.
Your stomach thinks you should.
No, that was,
I'll go fix you a plate.
So, Tamao-san is your grandmother? Is she in good health?
Grandma? She's fit as a fiddle. She's visiting relatives back in Shimane. That's why she isn't here.
Shimane. She must be with her mother's side of the family in Iwami.
Do you know my grandma?
Yes.
You do, huh? So then? How long do you need a place to stay?
Not long. Just until I can make my way back home.
Well, alright. If that's the case, it shouldn't be a problem. Just try not to cause any trouble. Feel free to use the guest room on the first floor.
Thank you.
Natsuno-san. Get it together, Keitaro. She certainly is quite... Yes. I admit, she's bright, cheerful, attractive. But right now, I have more urgent matters to tend to. Despite a catastrophic loss, Japan recovered quite well. It seems to have entered a prosperous new era. Almost too prosperous. Why were just the Sentinel and I brought here? That thing is beyond me. I'm no expert. But I know it's capable of some extraordinary feats. Time travel, though. Could the Sentinel possess an
There's a projection device where the radio... It's been lightly remodeled, but it's the same house. I could have sworn it burned to the ground. There's a projection de... It's been lightly remodeled. The damage on this pillar is missing. And it wasn't changed when they remodeled. If this really is the Kurabe's house, then it should be right here. Chihiro left a dent in this pillar.
Back on my parents' property, there was a wooden single-story house. It was built in the middle of the 20th century. That humble little place stood for about 100 years. My grandfather often told me stories about it. Some of his fondest childhood memories were at that house.
That sounds lovely. I'll have it produced for you.
You will? But all I have left are old photographs.
That's fine. I can restore them for you.
Thank you, Mira-san. I'm looking forward to it. Oh. Were you just on a call with someone else?
With Professor Kurabe, yes. We were discussing the layout of the residential zone.
Oh, that's right. Professor Kurabe was born in the 21st century. She's 120 years old, right? I know that she's receiving nanomachine treatment, but she still looks so young.
She's Professor Morimura's mentor, I hear. Quite an intelligent individual.
Well, yeah. She is the foremost expert on AI, after all.
Right. Anyway, is something wrong?
Why does something have to be wrong for me to call? Well, I just so happen to have a really urgent problem. I need emotional support stat, and I need it from you.
Oh, that does sound urgent. Then I'll be waiting.
Yes. No matter where I am, at least the sunset is always the same. Our mother's terrible at sewing. I'd never seen her struggle with it. I checked the library, but in all of history, nothing like it, not in the US. What was that? I met Natsuno-san. She ended up What was she do? She at least. Nothing's changed today either. I need to figure out how to take back the Sentinel. Then I can find a way to return to 1945. Though, I can't seem to reactivate it. I've tried countless times, too. I hope I didn't break it. If there's a mechanical issue, I'd love to take a look at it. But security around the building's been tight lately. Now I can't get too close. I can't just sit here. Actually, that factory at the mountain pass may have survived the air raid. It might still be standing in this era. Ayame Park. This is where the factory used to be. Chihiro? Is it really you?
What business do you have with my little sister?
Who are you?
I'm that child's older brother. Is there something you need from her?
No. She just looks like a relative of mine.
Let's get going.
Chihiro. If she's still alive, she'd be over 40 by now. If she's... We don't have a family burial plot where I'd find her. I have no idea what's happened to her. She's either alive somewhere in this world, or... Chihiro, I'm going to find my way back to you. Natsuno-san, get it together, Keitaro. She certainly is quite... Yes, I admit she's bright, cheerful, attractive. But right now, I have more urgent matters to tend to. Despite a catastrophic loss, Japan recovered quite well. It seems to have entered a prosperous new era. Almost too prosperous. I saw when the war supposedly ends in that history book. August of 1945. If that's true, then Japan loses the war in just 3 months. Before the war, my uncle gave me a sci-fi novel. A story about traveling through time to the future. It only ever felt like a far-off fantasy. To think it ever become a reality. Why were just the Sentinel and I brought here? That thing is beyond me. I'm no expert, but I know it's capable of some extraordinary feats. Time travel, though. Could the Sentinel possess an ability like that? I should go talk to... She must know... Sakura High School. It looks nothing like the school I attended. It's still here. It's been renovated, but I do recognize this building. If this is the... then over there's where the potato field used to be. Looks like that plot of land got... I wonder if there's a way in. There's no one here. Do they not use this building? This building was brand new. Now the floorboards creak. The pillars are all scratched up. It really has been 40 years. If she's... We don't have a family burial plot where I'd find her. I have no idea what's happened to her. She's either alive somewhere in this world, or... This is where I waited for Takatoshi-san, and where Tamao-san came to see me off. How strange. It almost feels like it was all just a distant dream. Alright, enough. This isn't the time to be getting sentimental.
Oh, Miura-kun.
Megumi-san, Thank you again for the bento you gave me. I found a nice spot to eat it by the Kaide River. A bento with meatballs. Quite luxurious. I was very impressed.
Oh, they were just regular old meatballs. Nothing special, but I'm glad you liked it. What are you doing out here? Are you looking for someone? What are you doing out here? Are you looking for some...
I'm trying to find Natsuno-san. Would you happen to know where she is?
Minami-san? She should be in the track room. The athletic building's over that way. Want me to go check?
No, that's okay.
Oh yeah, so for dinner tonight, I think I'll make Hamburg steak. You seem to really like it.
You mean that giant ball of meat?
Hamburger meat, yeah. It's Jiro's favorite. So try not to come home too late.
Natsuno-san's over there. Everyone's staring at me. I'm glad I found Natsuno, but I don't like all this attention.
Hey, you! You've been standing there an awfully long time. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for Natsuno Minami.
Minami? How do you know her?
And how old are you?
Looks like a middle school uniform.
No, I'm,
Seriously? You guys have to be so...
Natsuno-san.
Come on, let's go. Sorry I took...
It's fine. I said I'd wait. So, whenever you exercise, you all change into outfits that show your legs? That's... fascinating.
Anyway, you kinda showed up at school out of nowhere. Everything okay? Everything okay?
Natsuno-san. I met you before. Back in 1945. And now, here you are.
Huh?
You must know something about all this. About how I ended up in this era. Please, tell me what you know.
That's, Jeez, how do I put this? Look, I can't really talk about it here.
We could go to the building I used back in my time. It seemed to be empty.
The old school building? We can go in there?
Yes, it was open.
All right, then we'll talk about it there. Let's go. I always thought this place would be locked up. We should be good here. Miura-kun, can you keep a secret?
Of course.
Okay. Then I'll tell you. Don't freak out, okay? This is BJ. He's an alien from the future. BJ's looking for the robot he used to get here, and I'm helping him find it.
A robot?
Does the word Sentinel ring a bell? That Sentinel from back in 1945 belongs to BJ's alien. There are a few of them, too.
How does she... And did she say it was made? It's a top-secret military weapon created by Japan.
I don't need to tell you this, but those babies are capable of time...
This... BJ. I have some questions about it. I've heard Shikishima engineers talk about something like this. Isn't this actually a type of scout unit?
Shikishima? They don't dabble in alien technology. All they do is make weapons, and BJ is no weapon.
But...
Keitaro. Ryura.
If he's just a scout unit, explain how he can talk. Don't be a jerk, Miura-kun. BJ isn't some kind of robot. This is just a spacesuit. Aliens come in all shapes and sizes. My guess is, the only thing inside that suit is BJ's brain.
Why are you searching for the Sentinel? What's your objective?
To uncover the truth.
The truth?
You wish to know where you came from, do you not?
What are you talking about? I came from 1945.
Incorrect. Your log proves otherwise.
My log?
Yeah, show us.
This log. If you really have it, I'd like to see it.
Professor, I have switched over to a private channel. Professor Takamiya, can you hear me?
Is that...
Miura-kun?
Professor Takamiya.
I'm connected now. Thanks, Miura-kun.
What the heck? Yuki-chan?
Everything goes smoothly with the shuttle?
I was able to secure a seat thanks to you. It'll probably be the last shuttle. This place will be lost by tomorrow, too.
Has the front line advanced that much already?
Afraid so. If anything, they're picking up speed. Did Natsuno get out safely?
She arrived in Sector 4 about 5 hours ago.
Ah, so she's there with you. You know, you two... I never approved of your relationship.
What?
Mom! There's my girl. You know I'm only kidding. I didn't think you wanted to talk to me anymore.
Of course I do.
I'm sorry about all the trouble with your father. He and I haven't been on good terms since we split up.
It's okay, Mom. I want to be with you.
I know. Me too, Na-chan.
Yuki-chan's my mom?
I'm sorry, Professor Takamiya. The shuttle's about to take off.
All right. I'll see you at Sector 3 in 14 hours.
We'll be waiting for you at Landing Zone 10.
Looking forward to it.
The destruction is spreading. It's only a matter of time until the surface is lost.
What the heck was all that?
That was just a segment of the log I've retained.
I have to know. When was that log recorded?
In the year 2188.
That doesn't make sense. How's this even possible? Yuki-chan's my mom in the future?
No matter where I am, at least the sunset is always the same. Nothing's changed today either. I need to figure out how to take back the Sentinel. Then I can find a way to return to 1945. Though, I can't seem to reactivate it. I've tried countless times, too. I hope I didn't break it. If there's a mechanical issue, I'd love to take a look at it. But security around the building's been tight lately. Now I can't get too close. That scout unit is an alien from the future. At least that's what Natsuno-san says. The footage he showed us is allegedly from the future. If it's real, then how am I still alive 200 years from now? All I know for certain is that it's no ordinary scout unit. She's from 1985. She seems to know about the existence of other Sentinels. Is that how she's able to travel through time? Maybe there's another way. In any case, she appears to be a central figure in all this. Could she still be at school?
Oh, Miura-kun.
Megumi-san.
You know where the track room is?
Yes.
Oh, right. Have you seen Juro around anywhere?
No.
I see. Maybe he went home already. For dinner tonight, what should I make? For dinner, what should I make?
We could have hamburger.
Again?
No, that's all right. I'm fine with anything.
Well, let's see. We've had nothing but meat these last few days. I think I want to make some fish for Juro. Okay, I better run to the store. I'll see you later.
Natsuno-san's over there.
You again. Minami isn't here today. Must have been really important. She even ditched practice.
Is that so?
Hey, are you Minami-san's boyfriend?
How far have you two gone?
What? No, you've got it all wrong. Do you happen to know where she went?
All she said was that she was in a hurry. But I don't know where she went.
I know where. She went over to Tokisaka Shrine.
What's she doing there?
Not sure. I didn't ask.
No point in staying. I can't. I am curious to see what's for dinner. But I can wait, no matter how much my stomach hates me. Right now, I'd much rather hear what Natsuno-san has to say. Natsuno-san, get it together. She certainly is. I admit I have more. Hisaka, that's where but it was back in my... Amazing. The shrine's hardly changed at all. The surrounding thicket, on the other hand, that has changed considerably. I don't see Natsuno-san anywhere. I wonder if she's hiding behind the trees again. What I'd give to see that.
No luck. We couldn't find it. I wonder where it could be.
Natsuno-san.
Whoa! Whoa, hey! And why are you here of all...
Natsuno-san, what was that
Whoa!
There was a big flash of light, just like when I came to this era and my same flash of light and everything. Come to think of it, this happened at the shrine back when we first met, too. There was a similar flash, almost like lightning. I get it now. You have to come here to travel through time.
What do we do, BJ?
Please, tell me what's going on. I just want to go home.
Are you just going to leave your Sentinel behind?
Oh yeah, that's how you got here. What are you going to do with it?
I'll figure out how to deal with the Sentinel later. It's Chihiro, my little sister. If there's any chance she made it out of that hell alive, then I have to find out.
Okay, that makes sense. BJ, think you can make it happen?
Please.
Fine. Activate gate. Setting coordinates to Sector 5. Initiating shift.
That data unit. So it was with Natsuno Minami all this time.
Are we back? Is it really that easy to travel through time?
Pretty cool, huh?
If we have the power to travel freely through time, can't I just send—
Nope, that's impossible. We can't just jump around as far as we want. We can only travel 40 years at a time. Besides, this is as far back in the past as we can go.
I see. That's unfortunate. For now, let's find Chihiro. She's most likely at an evacuation.
All right,
if not, then I might
let's go.
find her at the... What's going on? The place is deserted. The factory and station are both empty. Radios are down. No one's at... Where is every...
You see that?
It's that creature.
Okay, so that thing is an alien weapon, and it's here to invade Earth. The Sentinels were created to fight them off. This is just like what happened in the city from the future. After the aliens invaded, everyone was gone. Wait, if people are what's happening to everyone in my...
That's... Tamao-san! What happened?
Vital signs are failing. Condition is too critical for life support.
Tamao-san, where's Chihiro?
Chihiro-chan is... Goto-san, what are you doing?
Let me go!
Please calm down, Miss Morimura.
Chihiro-chan! Where do you plan on taking her?
I apologize for what I've done to you. But you have no reason to worry.
Wait!
Goto. The one who was giving you medicine. Tamao-san! She disappeared.
Universal control has shifted her.
Does that mean the aliens got her?
Probably. It's likely that everyone is being held there. Until this world comes to an end.
Chihiro. Natsuno-san, get it together, Kate. She's certainly, I admit, but I have more... Renya Goto. He might be the same guy that Tamao-san gets... According to a boy named Renya Goto, he can apparently... And BJ said he's from 80... That scout unit isn't... At least the footage if it's real. All I know... Renya Goto. If he's in 19... Then Chihiro will be with him. According to the... It has indeed been 40, but this era doesn't seem to be based... The two aren't... Perhaps this... Could he be a... I don't care what it's... And I'm going to get...
Miuraku.
Natsuno... Perfect timing. I was just about to go look...
Same here. I've been worried.
Thanks, but I'm fine. In fact, I came here to find Renya Goto, but I have no idea what he looks like or how... Could you point him out to me?
That might be a little tough. Goto-senpai hasn't been back on campus. I asked around and no teacher...
Well, that's a problem.
Oh, Natsuno-chan.
Miwako!
Done with practice already?
Oh, you have that picture of Goto-senpai, right? The one you took when he wasn't looking?
Hey! Not so loud!
Sorry. So do you have it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is it! Miura-kun! Look, I've got a picture of Goto-senpai.
Pardon my interruption.
He's the tall guy in the back.
This here is Renya Goto? The one with the glasses?
Yep, that's him. Thanks, Miwako.
Natsuno-chan, what's going on between you and that guy?
Huh? Nothing's going on. Just a normal, casual friendship.
Casual?
No, not that.
How could this... The man I saw at the park was Renya Goto, the bastard who kidnapped Chi. Chihiro? It really is you, isn't it? Please say something. Chihiro. I found it. It survived the air raid. I meant to give it back to you earlier. This is your favorite stuffed animal, isn't it?
Big brother.
Don't lose it again, all right?
I won't.
Chihiro, it really is you. I'm so relieved you're safe.
I suppose it's true. It's not like my memories were displaced. My blissful dependency as your little sister. It's become part of my identity. Denial can cause enormous strain to one's psyche.
Chihiro? Are you okay?
Better than okay. I've regained my original memories. I'm Chihiro Morimura.
Morimura?
You're the one who insisted on keeping that a secret. Yet you gave it away in the end.
It's you.
Sometimes a bold change in plans is necessary. You'd know that better than anyone. Wouldn't you, Goto-kun?
I didn't expect to see you here.
Renya Goto. What the hell did you do to Chihiro?
I don't appreciate the hostility. But what you see here is Chihiro in her original state. She was never your little sister to begin with.
Shut up! I'm not listening to a word you say. I won't forgive you. And I will avenge Tamao-san.
I believe you misunderstand the situation.
Chihiro, listen to your big brother and come with me. We're going.
Where exactly? Back to 1945 where no one's left? Don't you see? It doesn't matter where we run. If we have any hopes of preventing the loop, we need to prioritize gaining control over all systems. You've always been the dependable type. You used to be an excellent design engineer.
What are you talking about?
I'll always be on your side, Chihiro. That's what you told me, remember? So please, cooperate. Is everything prepared, Goto-kun?
Already.
Good. Then I shouldn't waste any more time. Let's hurry.
Chihiro!
Don't even bother.
Get out of my way. Chihiro is coming with me.
She's being targeted for assassination. And I highly doubt you have the capacity to protect her.
What? Who would...
A Sekigahara. Should you decide to cooperate, let me know.
Sekigahara. Did he travel through time too? Is that how he got here? Tamao-san. The military police are gone for now.
How are things looking?
They're searching for Kiriko-san.
I can't believe she's a spy.
They seem to think she's associated with him. He must have dragged her into this. I just don't understand. Why protect a wanted man?
That woman... Her name isn't Kiriko Doji. And she doesn't come from this world.
You're a lunatic.
I don't get it. What could she want with the Sentinel?
You know about the Sentinel? You really are a spy.
If she were to try and escape, she'd likely use the gate. If we leave now, we might be able to catch up to her.
Sekigahara-san, please, I have to know the truth. I was told that my parents aren't really my parents, and that I was brought here from the future.
Is that what Kiriko Doji told you?
I don't know why she'd lie, but I think that explains the dreams I keep having.
She's tampered with your memories.
He's out of his mind. Don't listen to a word he says, Tamao-san. We should just turn him in.
Keitaro-san, please. I don't want it to come to that.
Keitaro? As in Keitaro Miura?
How the hell do you know my name?
I see. So it's you.
What are you on about now?
You and I have been fighting alongside each other.
I've never seen you before in my life.
The Miura of this era hasn't. The Miura of the future has.
The future?
Yes. He no longer has his physical body. His consciousness is currently stored inside a scout unit.
Then, Keitaro-san is...
one and the same.
I've had enough of this nonsense. You, come with me. I'm taking you in.
Don't move.
Sekigahara-san!
You bastard.
Like you said, I'm out of my mind. Poison is coursing through my brain as we speak.
Yes. Chihiro. No point in trying to... It's still too early to say anything for sure. But a scout unit from the future... And it possesses my consciousness? The footage he showed us is allegedly from the future. If it's real, then how am I still All I know for certain is that it's no ordinary Natsuno-san, get it. She's certainly, I admit, but I have more. According to the history, it has indeed, but this era, the two aren't connected. Chihiro. Design engineer? What was she talking? Chihiro. Natsuno-san, I'm not sure, but I really want to hear, could she still be a... Natsuno-san's over...
What do I do?
What's the hurry?
Miura-kun. BJ's gone. I'm pretty sure he's lost somewhere by himself. If he's caught, we'll never see him again.
All right. Let's split up and find it.
Okay. He couldn't have gone too far. Maybe he's inside one of the school buildings.
Okay, then you search the building. I'll search the campus perimeter.
Okay, I'm on it.
Did you see that flying RC thing?
It went back behind the North School building. Think it belongs to the radio club?
It was all boxy and weird shaped. Didn't look like a helicopter to me.
So it can fly. Behind the North building. That's where the old school building is. No sign of him. Sounds like rotor blades. Are you trying to draw? Natsuno-san's worried about you.
Hey, Taro, Miura, I've been scanning for you.
Well, I've been looking for you. Is what Sekigahara said true? Are you... me?
That's correct. I am Keitaro Miura.
At this point, nothing I hear should surprise me anymore. Why do you look like this?
When the world was destroyed, I died. I had to take your place and fight in the Sentinel. In order to do this, I was resurrected as an AI.
No point in trying to make sense out of it, and still too early to say any. But a scout unit from the future, and it possesses my consciousness? So you've been using a Sentinel to fight off those monsters. That's what you're looking for, right?
Correct.
Then how did your AI end up in this scout unit?
There was a malfunction so I uploaded a part of myself. However, 72% of me is still wrapped inside the Sentinel.
At this point, nothing I hear should surprise me anymore. Does Natsuno-san know that you're me?
We didn't get a chance to meet in the previous world. I I'm very fond of Natsuno. It's best that she doesn't know.
If you're really from the future, then you must know. What's going to happen?
My experiences are all from past events.
Past events?
Time is relative. Even with future technology, time travel is impossible. We never traveled through time.
But you're Keitaro Miura from the future, right?
I'm an entity that used to be Miura. Before you. I located the Sentinel. I can now access all logs.
So the rest of the footage is available.
Promise me. Before the final invasion begins, you'll research the logs and figure out a solution. Chihiro Morimura's plan. It will lead you all down a path of destruction.
Chihiro's plan?
Promise me.
Why are you asking me that?
Because I'll be gone soon.
Morimura-san.
Is all going as planned?
All issues have been resolved on my end. 4 sectors are ready for the final phase. The remaining one is at roughly 70%.
Sectors?
Their structures are similar to these colonies. So that's what I've been calling them.
So we'll have 5 sectors then.
I've chosen not to divide them based on orbital positions. Instead, I've separated them by historical eras. I've been meaning to ask, why don't we create a residential district of the present day?
The decision was made to start over. From a time before the world took such a terrible turn.
Before the nanomachine incidents?
Perhaps humanity tasted the fruit of knowledge too early. When it was being decided how far we should go back, we couldn't come to an agreement. So we ultimately settled on preparing residential districts by era.
I've always wanted to live in the 20th century before the war. So this works out perfectly. However, some resources of the era are quite old. Accurately reproducing them might pose a difficulty. I don't think I can do it with confidence.
That's fine. As long as our civilization survives, I'll be happy.
Once it's completed, just one district will be the size of a city. It'll have a bustling population of 1.2 million people.
We have more residential areas than we originally planned. Miss Karabe's hands are going to be awfully full.
I'm sure everything will be finished on time. I have to get back to work.
Understood.
Yes.
Everything looks like it's made of gold. I remember the day the Kurabe family took me in. I held Chihiro's hand, and there was a sunset just like this. Chihiro. I don't care who Chihiro says she is. She's still family. Takatoshi-san. You actually showed up?
That Sentinel belongs to us, doesn't it? Why wouldn't I show up? So that's where it is, huh?
Yeah. The Sentinels inside that building.
Strange, isn't it? Pretty soon, all this will turn into a battleground. We'll be fighting in a place that's supposedly in the future. This is what we've been training for. Odd circumstances aside, it's an honor to fight using such incredible weapons. Odd circumstances aside.
Takatoshi-san, if anything happens to me, could you look after Chihiro?
Don't be stupid! Whenever you're in trouble, I'll always be there. And if it ever looks grim, I'll be the first to take a bullet for you. Now don't get discouraged. No one's going to die.
All right. Let's go. We're taking back our Sentinel.
That's what I want to hear. There it is. Just how I remember it. Freeze! Another one? He's still alive. I'm using low power shots, but still. Feels like we've given these guys quite the punishment.
I want to thank you, Takatoshi-san. I couldn't have recovered the Sentinel without your help.
It's still a little too early to be thanking me.
Right. Natsuno-san's already out there fighting. I'd better join her.
Save some action for me, all right? I'll catch up to you soon.
BJ. A different me from a different time. According to him, I should be able to activate the Sentinel now. It worked. All right, no time to waste. Natsuno-san, can you hear me?
Miura-kun, thank God. I thought it was all over.
Just stay put. I'll be right there.
Okay.
I have to protect my family. And everyone I hold dear. Even if it costs me my life.
Oh? It would appear I can no longer rely on Shikishima. Miss Morimura's death has left... Now they won't let me spearhead the Sentinel project. I doubt my opinion will weigh much in their discussions going forward. Miss Morimura, why did you have to die? Ayame Park, please.
That was pretty quick, Goto-kun.
It was yours, Miss Morimura. There's no doubt about it.
Is that so?
You don't seem too shocked about your death.
Well, it didn't exactly stop me. Here I am, safe and sound.
I suppose that's true.
So, what did the police say? So,
the cause of death was a gunshot to the abdominal area. No bullet was found in the body. Though it's easy to imagine why. The murder weapon was likely from beyond this time, beyond material bullets. Estimated time of death is approximately 1900 hours. You were witnessed running off somewhere with a short-haired student. According to a pedestrian's eyewitness account, anyway.
they found a witness. This era's police really did their due diligence.
There should have been that drone tracking her movement. So, anything helpful in its footage?
The timing couldn't have been worse. It looks like it was monitoring the government's movement at the time. So she wasn't even under surveillance.
I see.
Any thoughts as to our primary suspect? Who do you think did it?
Well... an acquaintance of Miss Morimura. Described as a short-haired male in a student uniform. Most likely A. Sekigahara. The witness statement matches the description of A. Sekigahara.
It did seem like something was wrong with A. Sekigahara's memories. I wouldn't be surprised if he was our murderer.
Though it raises the question of why he'd bother to lure her out. Surely a murderer's optimal scenario is to avoid being spotted at all.
Well, maybe it wasn't premeditated. He could have killed her by accident.
Well, he certainly is the type to brood over things. I can say he's not enough of an idiot to shoot someone on impulse.
Who else? That man with that...
Logically speak, he would naturally be another potential... He did attempt to... He's a dangerous individual. And he's... All that's left of 426 is his conscience. I don't think I could reliably predict his behavior. He's desperate enough to do anything. 426 certainly isn't above killing. If Ida-san were here, I'm sure he'd declare 426 our primary suspect.
We know he killed at least 4 people. That's why I shot him dead in the end. If he resurrected himself as an android, maybe... that would give him a chance at revenge. As a motive, it sounds pretty clear-cut.
So you believe 426 is the most likely suspect?
Barring A. Sekigahara. Who else could it be?
Miss Morimura, I have one more question.
What is it?
Regarding 426, would you say you had any particular feelings toward him?
Feelings? Well, he was certainly a good friend. I felt like he really understood me. Well, used to, anyway. Where's this coming from?
That doesn't make sense. According to number 18, or should I say, Tamao-san. I had a hunch about Miss Morimura's feelings, and my discussion with Tamao-san only confirmed my suspicions.
Goto-kun. I'm sorry for this. I know it's sudden. I need to talk to you.
Did something happen?
It's about Morimura-san. She's been transplanting 426's memories onto Juro-kun. I only just found out.
426? As in the escaped android?
No, not that one. She's using the memory data of the man himself. It was saved during the shift.
In other words, she's trying to use Juro to create another 426?
I did my best to talk her down. She's letting me handle Juro-kun's treatment now. Still, I don't think she's given up on this.
Why is she trying to bring back 426?
Well, I've been giving her some advice about it. And I understand where she's coming from, but... Morimura-san is in love with him.
With 426?
Maybe she always has been. That's why she wants him back as a human.
But she has to know the risks. He's a dangerous man.
True, but that's not exactly what she's remembering. Besides, she's the one who killed him. That guilt is still eating at her. Watch over Morimura-san. And try to keep her away from Juro-kun if you can.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you. I can barely take the idea of 1426, let alone 2.
So I was right. Miss Morimura did have feelings for someone. When Juro Izumi lost his memories, you aimed to use him to revive 426. Make one a vessel for the other. One reason seems most likely. You harbored romantic feelings for him.
Me? With him? You're joking. That Chihiro Morimura was mind-hacked, remember? You said so yourself. My goodness, No!
Aside from Miss Morimura and Ida-san, 4 others came here for refuge 16 years ago. By the time I'd started assisting Miss Morimura's efforts, they'd already lost their physical bodies. Fortunately, we were able to use the data stored in Sector 0. This allowed us to meld their replicated consciousness with AI. As for how they lost their bodies in the first place, reportedly 426 is doing. He destroyed them all in one fell swoop. According to Ida-san's account, anyway. But if number 16 is to be believed, that's not what really happened. And Miss Morimura should be aware of that. I spoke with the pilot of Sentinel number 16. Back then, she gave Miss Morimura something nobody else would. The truth.
Wait, what do you mean? Could you go over that again?
Our defensive maneuvers failed. So we decided to stick to the plan. We all headed to the gate to escape. But there was an explosion while we were shifting. From what I can tell, the Type 98 we were shifting in got attacked. But that's the last thing I remember. After that, nothing.
That means... Is that how your data was damaged? It wasn't some plot by 426 after all? Just... an explosion? We never did manage to completely reconstruct your data. I thought it was just that you didn't get converted in time, but... You were all dead before the shift even happened. Ida-kun, you said he killed the 4 of them. I know you did. You said he sabotaged them, killed them.
Given the chance, he certainly would have.
You lied to me?
He already tried to kill us all in the past. You know he'd have tried again if we left him alive. Killing him was the right call.
No. That means...
I'd like to revisit something you just mentioned. About 426 killing at least 4 individuals. Do you really not remember?
Remember what?
You've read my files, I presume? I gathered quite a lot of material in the past. Most of it is rather outdated, including Ida-san's statement concerning those victims. In other words, your answer is objectively incorrect.
Really? Well, can you blame me? Look at this body I'm stuck with. I'm bound to have some memories confused.
If you recall, I suggested that Miss Morimura was mind-hacked. That idea was based on a certain piece of evidence I found. One particular log.
What log?
If you really are Miss Morimura, then you should already know. 2 years before you were born, Ida-san extracted some information from 426 that in turn led to the discovery of the data log in question. As for the log itself, it contains footage from the year 2188. It was found buried in the mainframe data during the analysis of 426. You seem very disturbed by me seeing that file. So much so, in fact, that you ended up deleting all of your logs. Would you mind telling me why you did that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, at the very least, its contents suggested a connection to 426. Or even that he had been manipulating Miss Morimura. The log contained a very interesting report. Apparently, Juro Izumi downloaded memories onto Chihiro Morimura's clone.
426 was the one who overwrote my memories? So what does that mean? What are you trying to say? Your Morimura and I are both 426?
Ever since the battle, that Miss Morimura has been pushing this operation as one of its... This refers to the humans who can control the UFO's mainframe. Those compatible have nanomachines implanted in their bodies. The log inconveniently revealed one of your secrets. One you were desperate to keep me away from. So you deleted it. That's my theory, anyway. Remember where this all began? It was the compatibility experiment. The one that produced you. Based off Miss Morimura's footage and your own admissions, I've completely misjudged the situation. All this time, I believed you were her. But even from the very beginning, you've been your own person.
So, what are you saying? I'm not Chihiro Morimura? If I'm not a duplicate of Chihiro Morimura, then who exactly do you think I am?
You are Chihiro Morimura.
Well, there you have it.
No, not Miss Morimura, the teacher. Professor Chihiro Morimura. The one from the year 2188. And the central figure of Shikishima's interstellar development project.
Aegis activation confirmed. The terminal is completely sealed off.
We did it.
They've changed targets. The next terminal is just over there.
They're already on the move.
Can't even let us catch our breath, huh?
I haven't hit my operating limit yet, but I'm going to dismount.
Whoa, hey, then who's taking point?
Pull it together. We don't need orders to kick some ass.
Chihiro-san.
Look at that sunset. Just like it was back then. It's beautiful. I'm guessing you were monitoring me with a drone?
I have one locked on to you, yes. Their target's changed. They're coming back this way. It's dangerous here. We need to get you to safety.
Aw, don't tell me you're worried about me. How about you mind your own business? You already know how I feel. This is what I wanted.
Still.
More importantly, can you really afford to waste your time here? Or have you already given up? The invasion is still in its preliminary phase.
I've got time. First, I need to get you somewhere safe.
There are no safe places left. At least, none left for us. We're not safe anywhere. But you know that well enough. You're just losing precious time. Go focus on the job you're supposed to be doing.
Understood. I'll go. You'll find it safer towards the river. If, hypothetically, you wanted to know.
Wait. As long as we're both here, there's something I want to clear up. So, tell me. You were in love with Miss Morimura, weren't you? You said she was mind-hacked. But it was more about you being jealous, wasn't it?
That's hardly...
This may be our last chance to talk. Answer me.
You are correct. Is that what you wanted to hear? That I was driven by some cheap, naive impulse? That I can't think about anything else?
And that's why you brought back my memory too, isn't it? You never cared how you managed to do it. You just wanted her back.
So much.
I'm glad. You really were a slave to your desires. That's the Renya Goto I remember. It means I don't have to like you after all. Thank you. I think that's all I wanted to hear.
Professor,
You should go. After all, we still have our bet. Although it looks like I'm about to win it. You should go. What's wrong? Did you get separated from your mommy? Could you leave me alone? It's dangerous out here. Just come with me, okay? Will you just... What are you... Don't worry. If you can't find your mommy, I can help you look. We just have to run away right now, okay? Oh, there you are, Ryuko. you're okay.
Jeez, you're so reckless. You shouldn't have come this way.
Kisaragi, that girl is...
I know already. I'll get back to the battle once Miwako's safe.
Is someone else here?
Of course not. Never mind. The evacuation route's that way.
Can I bring her too? Hey!
That's fine, just hurry up.
Strange. I know this is my first time here, but this suddenly makes me feel so...
Sunsets will do that, I find. Regardless of time period.
Yes, but... this must be... well, I suppose it must be one of those... So? Where am I going?
I've rented an apartment under a false name.
Can't be any worse than our last account. As long as it's not Rebel, I'll take it.
My apologies. If it's any comfort, I'm certain nobody will find you, not Shikishima, and certainly not Miss Morimura. I suppose we have Ida-san to thank for all this. The funds and paperwork he prepared were invaluable.
Tetsuya Ida. And he's still missing, is he?
Yes. Let's go. Chihiro-san.
You think I'm the professor?
That is what I said. You are Professor Chihiro Morimura, a major figure in Shikishima in the year 2188, namely, the leader of its space.
What are you even talking about?
Just some hypotheticals. A possible interpretation of the evidence I found.
Okay, say I am the professor. Remember, Miss Morimura is the one who created me. You think that was her plan? She wanted a host for the professor and not herself? How would that make sense? Okay, say I am the professor. Remember...
Miss Morimura ran an experiment to grant her clone compatibility. She believed that you were synchronized to her. She believed it was her own data but it was the other Chihiro Morimura in Sector 0. And of course, you entered the world as a newborn, incapable of verbal communication. So Miss Morimura never realized her mistake.
This is all speculation.
Certainly, yes. But if I'm right, and you are, I imagine you were in quite a panic yourself. All things considered, it was a staggering deviation from the original plan.
What original plan?
But if I'm right, and you are, I imagine you were in quite... Among the logs from 2188, one of Tetsuya Ida's noted that he'd found an anomaly. Chihiro Morimura was set to undergo a memory transplant in the final phase. And the final phase, well, that would be us.
I don't know where you think you're going with this.
A bit of patience, please. There's a little more context I need to provide. Ever since the battle that Miss Morimura has been pushing this operation. This refers to the humans. Those compatible have nano... The log from the future, that would be the comms log I found. The first log I checked held some surprises. The author seemed to be an elderly Renya goat, and the date of recording appeared to be 2188. I assumed it was some future version of myself, one that had time traveled into the far future. But now, I don't think that's the case. I believe it's the other way around. In other words, I myself am a clone of him. every individual I saw in that log footage, they all created clones of themselves.
Clones?
I did find a log that proves this.
What did you see?
A comms log between you and Professor Takamiya. Her field is genetic engineering.
I don't know where you think you're going with this.
A bit of patience, please. There's a little more context I need to provide.
Professor Takamiya, how are the projections on those self-replicating probes?
The simulations look good. Especially the survey range. We never expected a rate of expansion that high. It was definitely the right call to prioritize its strength as a group over individual units. These probes are pretty much living machines now. They self-replicate using natural resources mined from asteroids in their routing. They'll just keep building up and breaking down. An infinite cycle of self-replication on its way to its target. There's basically zero chance of the tech failing midway through. They'll just keep on going. Probably long after humanity's gone.
Glad I came to an expert, then. All that's left is the refinement of the memory cube.
The infrastructural storage cell, right?
The cube's made up of 5 identical memory layers. In theory, it'll compare itself to nearby probes and use them as a template for repairs.
And if it can't be repaired, well... fine. One probe down. We've got thousands more.
And our passengers?
I'll be loading them up with the DNA of all the survivors. I've already got samples and data from all 15. Now it's just down to launching them.
These clones will go with all our hopes on their shoulders.
By the way, what do we do about him? I mean, after that DNA test.
We do nothing. He doesn't have to know. What can I even say to him?
Not much, I guess.
There were 15 survivors of that colony, each with a clone established to be compatible. Though they grew up in different eras, different worlds. And you aimed to replace your clone's memories with your own. That was your real plan. Right now, I imagine your biggest question is precisely how much of that log I've seen. Am I close? You do have a genius mind, but also the form of a child. I imagine it's harder than usual to hide your agitation.
It's absolutely not... Now you're just trying to trick me?
I'd say, based on that log, Professors Takamiya and Morimura seem to know each other quite well. Maybe you'd know something about that.
Of course not.
Then perhaps instead, Tsukasa Okino? Being compatible, that makes one part of his identity clear. He's one of the 15 from the year 2188. So, any theories? Who was he in the year 2188? Care to guess?
Stop it.
No? Then allow me to clarify. That boy, Tsukasa Okino, is Professor Chihiro Morimura's son. but not her child by personal, conventional birth. The professor donated her egg cells as a young woman, in accordance with the policies on population control. Their blood relation wasn't exactly obvious, until DNA testing on the clone revealed it. The professor was faced with the truth. He was her son, which naturally sparked an inconvenient surge of maternal instinct. However, Okino himself didn't think highly of the professor. He had his disagreements with the project staff, too. When it seemed like her end was near, the professor recorded him one final message. One last chance for him to know the truth.
Stop! You saw that? But how? You'd need a biometric ID match to access that log. So you should only have been able to access your own. My logs and Okino's should have been locked off.
Thank you, Professor Morimura. Indeed, the files I could access were somewhat limited. Mostly company logs. Meeting reports, call transcripts, bureaucratic chaff. Barely anything in the way of your personal records.
Then, how do you know what was in my logs?
It's simple, really. That should do it for preparations. Now, let's see if the biometric authentication works. Did it go through? Looks like that got me past the initial barrier, at least. Now, with Miss Morimura's ID, I should be able to get into her logs. Maybe, if I check Miss Morimura's logs, I might find a clue why your biometric ID matches hers. It really is her ID.
Iori Fuyusaka?
Though unconscious, she is Chihiro Morimura, a compatible version. If you really are Miss Morimura, then you should already know who Iori Fuyusaka is, because that would mean you hid her here in Sector 4. The plan was for the two newborns to grow up with their own separate lives. Ida-san's idea, presumably. Chihiro Morimura was planned to be placed in 2104, and Tetsuya Ida in 2024, yet neither could be found.
I knew Renya Goto of Shikishima pretty well. You and he are very different. Except that you both make my life a lot harder. So, suppose I am the professor.
I want to know the truth. I want to know the reasons behind... But that seems unlikely. I imagine you're not inclined to tell me...
And why's that?
It'd be inconvenient for you if we had all the facts, considering you're trying to eliminate... From the very beginning, you never intended for this world to survive. Oh?
you? Why are they coming this way? The terminal's the other way. Oh, that's Sentinel. That's gotta be Iori. Hey, Iori, what's going on? Iori-chan? They all appeared on this side out of nowhere. Just keep running. That's easy to say, but where are we even supposed to run? Miwako, I'm sorry I couldn't get you somewhere safer, but I'll handle this. Usami-chan? Usami-chan disappeared. What the heck is going on? Don't worry. I'm going to protect you. Everything's gonna be okay. I need to stay logical. Logical. Just so you know, I didn't want to do this. I'm gonna try something. Huh? Honestly. Goto-kun! I know you can see me! You've got a drone up, right? I need you here right now! Goto? You don't mean... Goto-kun! Renya Goto? Yup. So you know him too? There you are. Goto-senpai! Where did you come from?
Chihiro-san, why did you call for me?
My senior ID can get me access to the higher level commands. But I still need the biometric authentication to get it started. So I'll need your help. Though, it's not a favor for me. I'm the one who's going to be helping all of you, in the end. Don't move.
Are you trying to shift from here?
I need you to step away.
This place is...
We're inside the underground UFO. The Sector 4 mainframe.
What are you trying to...
Maximum hypocrisy. Once I'm done here, your fight might get just a little... Get on the shifter already. I've established a connection to the system. My senior credentials should take care of the rest. Thank you. I didn't think you'd come back for me. I'm shifting you back. Now, let's get started, shall we? All units fighting the kaiju. Can you hear me?
Who's that? How'd you get on this channel?
Huh? Wait, you're the girl Miwako was helping.
Chihiro? Is that you, Chihiro?
I'm Chihiro Morimura.
What? That's our teacher's name.
I'm going to evacuate the populace all at once. Readouts say 1.2 million people in Sector 4. They'll all be force-shifted to the year 2025. As in Sector 3.
To the year 2025? You're shifting over 1 million people?
So you don't have to worry about any civilian casualties. That's all.
Wait a minute, Chihiro!
Initializing shift. That should be everyone. Unbelievable. Absolutely ridiculous. Why am I doing this?
Oh, it went through.
What's the meaning of this? How did you gain access? Explain yourself.
I'm Takatoshi Hijiyama. I just have one favor to ask of you.
A favor?
Well, it's kind of complicated, but I'm actually asking on behalf of someone else. A young man by the name of Okino.
Tsukasa Okino?
This data is that you, Goto? It's been a while. The last time I saw you was 2 months before my death. Roughly a year ago, I think. Chairman Ogata. An AI construct based on Chairman Kengo Ogata. Why would this be in Morimura's files? I see. So this is how she managed to raise all those funds. She must have used this AI to access the Shikishima chairman's hidden network. Not quite. I'm afraid that was originally my idea. The good Professor Morimura was only following my orders. So all of this was by design? Your design? Leaking the prototype nanomachinery to the black market? The catastrophic consequences. You're the one who exploited her. If you blame anyone, blame yourself. We were so close to losing Project Ark entirely. Now we must prioritize the project above all else. I'll finally have my second chance at life. You were planning on downloading yourself into a clone. A brave new Earth is waiting for me. I won't let you do this. What is Professor Morimura doing now? She's dead. By that hitman's hands, I presume. That's humanity. Self-destructive to the very end. Only a few survivors left now. I give them 3 days at most. My deepest condolences for your imminent death. Shut up, Construct. Your project is over. Unfortunately for you, the Ark is already set off. It's still within comms range. You don't have clearance. I refuse to let an AI control the future of humanity. Not of the survivors. The ones who would have clearance.
So, suppose I am the professor. Then what?
I want to know the truth. I want to know the reasons behind all of this. But that seems unlikely. I imagine you're not inclined to tell me anything.
And why's that?
It'd be inconvenient for you if we had all the facts. Considering you're trying to eliminate us. From the very beginning, you never intended for this world to survive.
You think I'm trying to destroy the world?
I do.
So you think I'm enabling the kaiju now? Even though I've got more reason to hate them than any of you?
That is true, at least. You're clearly not on the kaiju's side. After all, they are a threat to your primary objective, which would be to carry out the plan you formed in 2188. However, that plan may now be untenable. The situation has deviated too drastically. Recall when I brought you to the underground UF, I believe you said something like, it was out of your hands. Recall when I brought you...
the mainframe of the UFO?
Yes.
Honestly, Okino-kun, you can't take anything else in life seriously. So why do you put so much time into all this?
Okino.
Just talking to myself. More importantly, look at this mess. Something unpleasant must have happened here.
Most likely. A Shikishima android. Probably left here by Ida-san. They've all been shot. External damage suggests the weapon was a phaser. They're all out of commission.
I see. Let's get started then.
Is it really possible?
I have a fairly comprehensive grasp of this system. This abnormality all comes down to the decode, right? I should be able to get rid of it.
Why would Miss Morimura push for Operation Aegis if this was an option all along?
Well, you said it yourself. She's either being controlled by someone, or she could be trying to save herself.
That's not right. Hold on. That file system hadn't even been analyzed yet. How did you gain access?
I have a senior admin ID. Access privileges for the entire system.
You somehow got access to an account that high level?
Yes, I have my ways. This is no good. Sector 3's mainframe has been damaged in an attack. It's barely operational. I won't be able to process much here. Well, no. I'll have to send direct instructions to the command ship.
Command ship?
The mothership in orbit. It can send commands directly to the UFO.
Is it? An Ark? Some grand design from the people of the future?
Either that or a base of operations for an The comms channel to the command ship is cut off. Must be hiding somewhere beyond the horizon. Looks like about 35 minutes until the comms reconnect. But we don't have that long. Time to find another link.
Will this fix cut off the Kaiju's attacks?
It should be able to solve the problem at its core. However, we can't stop any commands that were already processed. That's out of my hands.
Which means we'll still have to deal with the Kaiju already generated. We don't know how many the factories have produced. If we could just verify their numbers. We're going to need the Sentinels after all.
That may be best. Operation Aegis is too much of a risk.
In other words, the decode's activation is a blow you cannot recover from. No matter how you try to fix it, your plan is irreversibly impacted. The most direct fix would be eliminating the decode. Then, you would just restart the loop anew. In order to trigger a loop, you need them to destroy all the sector's mainframes. And therein lies your goal. You want this world destroyed so the timeline can be reset. But you have one major obstacle, and that's Operation Aegis. Aegis isn't just an ordinary defense system. It causes a terminal to seal itself off in self-defense, preventing anyone from using it to control the world. Once all the terminals are sealed off, we'll be severed from the mainframe, effectively preventing any further loop or extinction. But if that happens, your plan is null and void. We'd be stuck in a loop where your goal was impossible. Let's backtrack a little bit. We discussed the suspect of Miss Morimura's murder, and you asked me who I think did it. If you actually are Professor Chihiro Morimura, then I believe you personally murdered Miss Morimura.
Did I now?
She was a staunch advocate of Operation Aegis. A thorn in your side, someone in the way of your reset.
An interesting theory, if also an incorrect one.
Believe me, I understand why you'd view me with hostility. Certainly Renya Goto was responsible for chasing you out of Newman. Even if it was on Shikishima's behalf. A buyer simply eliminating liabilities. After that, you took the lead on Project Arc. Under Kengo Ogata's oversight. Kengo Ogata, of course, being Nenji Ogata's father. And Shikishima's chairman, who recognized your talent. He passed away in 2187. His age caught up with him. But the other Kengo Ogata is perhaps more relevant. The one you created after his death using his memories. An AI construct. You were letting it control you.
I was just getting advice. Dug that out of...
Yes, the log was recorded in the colony after your death. Once your clone reaches 18 years of age, you set it so that she'd download your memories. It's clear this project was not a selfish endeavor. I'm sure you felt a sense of duty to save humanity. But you were also trying to bring Kengo Ogata back to life. So Professor Morimura takes over Chihiro Morimura's clone. And presumably, Kengo Ogata would take over Nenji Ogata's clone. That's why you're so intent on sticking to the plan. Certainly, from your perspective, Miss Morimura was expendable. She had to die. Her very survival endangered your ultimate goal.
Well, that is a shame. This isn't ideal, but you know too much. Goodbye.
All right.
Where do I begin? Well, I think I finally found what we needed. The answer to our problem.
What is it?
I'd prefer to handle the introductions first, but... Well, I guess we're a bit early. The command ship's still behind the horizon. That means still about half an hour until they're in comms range. Now it's a waiting game.
Go ahead and explain.
Guess I owe you that much. You remember our talk about the decode?
Something inside that inner Locitor? It's the thing calling the Deimos, right?
You got it. More specifically, the important part is its connections to 3 discrete points. One of those points is the command ship in orbit, which I'll show you here. From that ship, it extracts the data of the Deimos themselves. That data is used to manufacture them in the automated factories in Sector 1. Then the factory-fresh Deimos are deployed to attack Universal Control. And that's how the decode works.
So why do the attacks make people disappear?
I might actually have the answer to that one. But, well, it'd be better if you heard it from her, the command ship.
Huh? Hey, the stall is moving.
Stop!
It stopped. Is this doll some kind of enemy?
Must have come from above ground. I'm definitely triggering the voice recognition, but... looks like my operation authority has been revoked. My commands aren't enough to they'll be back in action soon.
Hey, over here too!
Stop!
This doesn't look good.
You're telling me. We need to go. Something's off.
What's wrong?
That console. Looks like I can only use the controls from there. You stay here. I'll go set the timer.
Hey!
Stop!
Okino! Damn it! Why me? Why only me? I have to get back now, or Okino might not. Someone. Anyone. I need to find someone who knows how to time travel. Sekigahara would know. Keitaro's Sentinel could also travel in time. Wait, that nurse would know as well. This is hardly the time. I can't seem to find them. Okino was looking. Maybe she knows something about... Excuse me, there's something I need to ask.
Sure.
Okino was looking into that teacher. Maybe she knows. I'm looking for a teacher. Do you have any idea?
I think she already went home for the day.
Really? Of all time, she had to be gone. I'll have to look somewhere else. Crawling to him for help. Desperate times call. You've been in the area for a while. Seen any suspicious characters? Sharp eyes, acting fishy?
Yeah, right in front. Never mind.
Hmm? I'm looking for a boy. He'd be wearing a school hat. Has he been around here?
A school hat? Oh, you mean that middle...
You've seen him?
Sorry. I don't really know anything. But you might want to talk to one of our track members.
Where would I find them?
Around now, she'd probably be at the rest area.
Understood. Thank you.
you have a moment? I'm looking for Miura. A boy with an old... Any idea where I might find...
A school hat? You mean Natsuno's boyfriend?
Natsuno?
One of my friends in track has a boyfriend. And he always wears this super vintage-looking school hat.
That's him. Do you know where he is?
He wasn't near the athletics. I do remember... Oh, I've seen him around the old school building.
The old school? Thank you. Okay now. What's wrong? What's this? What are you doing? Don't be crazy.
Gotcha. Deja vu, huh? Isn't this where I confessed to Nenji Ogata too? That seemed like it really got to you. I thought you might be feeling left out, so...
You idiot. You thought it'd make me happy for a man to confess to me?
Guess not. Huh.
Nobody here. If what Keitaro's the Sentinels, so if I can take it back from the... Maybe I can use... Huh?
Huh? You?
This was the correct area to search. It is him.
Wait, that's... You're the scout unit that was with Sekigahara. Why do you have this? Who are you?
Takatoshi-san. Let me take you. Let me take you to Okino. He has been wounded. His condition is critical.
What? Who exactly... How do you know about Okino?
Television broadcasts and connect Yuki Inaba use them to inform me. Natsuno, he will need it.
Oh, sure. Here.
What is this?
A phaser. You will need a weapon to...
Some kind of future gun?
I extracted it from the Shikishima. It was designed based on data from the mainframe. Natsuno, please stay here.
What?
It will be dangerous. Okino may not have much time.
Then...
Okino! 3 active androids detected.
I'm on it!
Over here.
Is it over? Okino! Where are you hurt? Don't worry. I'll get you to a...
Ichiyama-kun,
Don't talk. I'm here.
the letter. Read my letter.
No! Okino! No. Okino's... He's gone.
Universal Control has isolated him.
So they finally made it here. Okino, you don't have much of a knack for luck.
The invasion force is approaching Sector 4. So I'd like to share the Sentinel with you. I hid it in the ocean in Sector 5. It's the one I piloted. Sentinel number 12. If anything happens to me, you'll need access to it. So I made one last adjustment to your body on my own. The Sentinel activation switch is on your left forearm.
That scout unit said you were isolated. If you really are alive, if you're out there somewhere, then you're going to need a home to return to. It'd be a shame if it was gone. So, I'll fight to my last breath to save it. That's all the reason I need. Now let's go! Sentinel number 12!
Finally. I was wondering when you'd show up.
What was that? I thought I heard Okino's voice.
You did. It's me.
Okino!
You can't see them, but I do still have legs. No ghosts here.
So the scout was right.
I'm still alive. Because we shared the Sentinel, you're the only one who I can communicate with.
What can I do? How do I save you?
I can't go back to that world anymore. I was cut off from it, to keep me alive. This was the answer, Hijiyama-kun. Remember what we talked about? The mystery process eating up 80% of the inner Lossiter's memory? Our hearing, vision, scent, touch, and taste. It was supplying sensory data, everything we ever perceived. It made everything in that world seem real. That was practically its highest priority function.
Seem real? You don't mean it was all fake? My home? The factory?
The 5 sectors are not reality. Besides the 15 of us, every human we've ever known, they were created by universal control. That world is a simulated space, a massive, perfect illusion for us.
None of it was real.
These cockpits we're in right now, that is reality. My designs for the Sentinels never had cockpits at all. What kind of suicidal moron would get in a 35-meter weaponized metal suit? A single punch's recoil impact would hit the pilot like a train crash. But then the finished Sentinels had ways to get inside. I wasn't too familiar with the systems we'd pulled from the mainframe data. I figured it was just a speck I hadn't noticed at the time. But it wasn't even a cockpit at all. They're growth pods, meant to keep our bodies healthy. We were born inside these pods. We have never known life outside of them.
If all that's true, how do we get out?
I don't know if we can get out. But at least one thing's clear. If the Deimos invasion destroys the world we knew, then we will all die inside these pods.
Fat chance of that. You're shameless, shrewd, and infuriating. People like you don't die so easily. No matter what else may change, my duty is the same. I live in service of my country, and the people I love.
Hijiyama-kun.
I will not let you die.
Hijiyama-kun. No matter how this ends, I will always be with you. Let's go.
Oh?
Initiating metaskill analysis. This shouldn't take too long.
Whoa.
I'll send you the data once it's ready.
That would be great.
But I must say, this is a surprise. Okino-kun really managed to push this through? Integrating this half-coded thing into the control system?
Thank you. No, well, Okino wanted to tell you that. Thank you.
Okino-kun said that?
He said the analysis wasn't complete yet. So he appreciates your help with all this.
I see.
To look at you, anyone might think you were just a child. But you must be a truly exceptional individual. The message was Okino's, but I'd like you to know I'm grateful as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to the battle.
That boy. So he appreciates me, does he? Well, that is a shame. This isn't ideal, but you know too much. Goodbye.
You cannot shoot me with that gun. So anyone who knows the truth of Aegis is a liability to you. And liabilities must be dealt with. Does that sum it up? If you recall, I specifically acquired this gun for your purposes. You had concerns about self-defense.
I can guess what happens next. Now you're going to use it to shoot me.
Perhaps I wasn't clear. For safety reasons, neither one of us can be shot with this gun. I configured it very specifically. As I suspected, this gun records the time of its last discharge. And that time looks to be a near match for Miss Morimura's estimated time of death. Which suggests you used this gun to murder her. Now, on the day of the crime, you yourself were using the drone to keep tabs on Miss Morimura, weren't you? Based off of your expenses for that day, I presume you took a taxi to the crime scene.
How much do you have in that pocketbook? Were you just playing dumb this whole time? When did you realize? What gave away that I was the professor and not her?
There was a specific moment. It was back when Miura found you here. You described Miura as an excellent design engineer. But the Miura of 2188 was the design engineer, not him.
Did you dig that out of Renya Goto's log too?
No. That I learned through Miura, the AI of Sentinel number 17. He also told me about the existence of the logs.
So, what happens to me now? If you're not killing me, I assume you're at least locking me up?
Considering what you did to Miss Morimura, I'm admittedly conflicted. But giving into my emotional reaction wouldn't solve anything. Vengeance isn't going to bring her back. So, with that in mind, I would rather choose the path that gets me closer to the truth. That is what I want now. To see what lies at the end of all this. To see what she never could. You told an obvious lie. You made it clear Jiro Izumi was not your cup of tea. Yet you and Izumi shared an intimate relationship in the year 2188. That was clear enough from all the evidence I found. Even the placement seemed intentional. You and Izumi, together in Sector 1. You died before you could set up the memory transplant. At that point, I can only assume, Izumi sympathized with you and helped carry out your vision. I can certainly understand Kengo Ogata's motive. He just wants to live again. But you, why are you so intent on transplanting your memory?
Because there has to be a leader. Without someone to guide them, teams dissolve into fear, spite, resentment. It'd be the colony all over again.
I see. As I suspected. Your devotion to this goal is inspiring in some ways. Are you a gambling woman? I'd like to propose a bet. We'll leave the terminals alone for you. We won't let Aegis seal everything off. Your loop would still be viable.
And in exchange?
As it currently stands, it'd be impossible to revert to your original plan without some compromise. But consider this. Even this final phase won't truly be the end. We'll have plenty of struggles beyond it. Plenty more pain ahead of us. If we can prove to you that we will overcome that, if we prove to you that we can face the unknown, then are we not worthy to take up your cause, inheriting your goal, and seeing it through?
You make an interesting point.
We can solve this problem ourselves. So my proposal is this. Let us fight our war. No sabotage. If we fail, then I could hardly object to a reset anyway.
That's your bet? You don't stand a chance.
Well, I suppose we'll see about that.
Aegis activated. Is anyone too compromised to keep fighting?
We've barely had a moment to breathe. The girls may be pushing their limits.
I'm still okay. I can keep fighting.
There are 3 terminals remaining. We can protect 2 of them with Aegis. But we're on our own with the last terminal.
How much longer do we need to hold out?
We need to re-establish a connection with Miyuki Inaba. That's still 10 hours off.
10 hours we don't have.
But her plan is our last hope. Then we fight to the last, until we have nothing left.
The kaiju are heading for the next terminal.
Brace yourself, Keitaro. We are soldiers, and this is the moment we train for. Hours, days, it doesn't matter. We'll hold the line. Let's go. Chihiro-san. You're listening, aren't you? If you're out there, please respond. Chihiro-san.
What is it now?
You know a way to link up with the command ship. One that doesn't rely on its position, don't you?
You're thinking of when I revised the decode.
Right now, we need that shortcut.
And this is where you reveal some new leverage over me. I can't wait to hear what log you found this time.
No. This time, I'm asking a favor.
You have to be joking. You do realize the position I'm already in?
I do. Even still, all I can do is beg. I just want us to have a chance.
This is the most idiotic... I lied to you, you know. Do you know which lie I'm talking about?
Not this time.
When I said I wasn't going to like you. You're an infuriating man, Remya Goto.
son.
Ready? Everyone, listen to me. We can communicate with the command ship out of range. I'm realigning the 3 surveillance satellites to their relay positions. We should be connected soon. However, the satellites have to move outside their preset tracks. They'll enter the gravity well and plummet to Earth. Your connection will only last until they hit the surface. You'll barely have any time to do this. Am I clear?
Thank you.
Honestly, humans can be so irrational. Though, I guess, I might be the most irrational one here. If you actually manage to pull this off, then I expect you all to take responsibility.
Chihiro.
Good luck, big brother. Almost connected. This is your only chance. Initiating communication.